Al, back again Wednesday afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Carolina Keith, Professor Keith, Keith the Simp, whatever you want to call me, idiot, jerk, friend, all the same to me. If you haven't done so yet, go push the like button. They're free, everyone. They don't cost anything. You get free likes around here. No big problem. Wednesdays are cool. I always like coming here on Wednesday and doing these during the daytime, which is better for me. I know over there across the pond, it's different because on Wednesdays, we do crypto before dark, not crypto after dark. So, I want to say hey to everyone. We're going to get into what we see on the dominance charts. I constantly want to check stablecoins, total market cap, things like this, to see what overall is happening, because what we've learned over the past bit is when money moves out of stable coins and moves back into crypto, we can see that happening on the chart. We can help make better decisions based upon what the chart shows us rather than guessing. Are we at a bottom? Is what everyone always says. Are we at the bottom? Well, how do you really know that anyway? What we can do is see that when other things kind of top out, and when we see other assets that run the opposite-ish of crypto, well, when they start topping out, we're able to make a move and jump in there and find some places to go. Now, does that mean everything's bullish? I don't really think so. I kind of feel like that just means everything's kind of trying to find its footing. That doesn't mean everything's going to go running up in price. That's the exact opposite. So let's say hey to everyone, and we'll get to cracking here. What's up, Bron Poteet? Good to see you, brother. Anon, good evening, by the way. First, he says, well, you're second, but close. Thomas, oh boy, I can't really say that. That's French Canadian. Galio, I think. Thomas Galio, I think. I'm not positive. Come on, man. Don't pick on USDC. Every forward say, yeah, I'm not picking, bro. Not picking. Jiggly Guapo says, take your TA class. It says, TA will take your investment game from ashy to classy. And that sky's the limit. If you don't know what he's talking about, that's the Biggie song that I reference when I say you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. That's Biggie, sky's the limit. A Phillips, what's up, brother? He says, happy hump day, everybody. Good to see you, brother. Danny Deep Pockets, what's up, my friend? He said, I'm about to get a pot of coffee in. Let's get it. Dynamis Crypto says, let's go. Yo, let's go, brother. Let's do it. I think I got it right. I think he's laughing at me. Kelly Slade, what's up, man? Good to see you. Rodrigo, what's up? Nate S. with the Cool Man Shades. It's noon here, Kelly Slade said. Yeah, Central Time. Doesn't really count. Jehovah's Thickness, one of the top tier names on YouTube. Jehovah's Thickness. That's tough. That's tough, dude. Oh, man. Thomas Galio says it's 20 o'clock there, which is military time. That's 200 hours. Basically, that's 8 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So, Architecture 23 says, hi from Germany. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Bill Urban says, Keith! Bill! Hit you with the echo, bro. Al, Digital Al, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Rug. Damn, day drinking? Nah, didn't day drink yet, but we can. Hang on a second. What are we going to drink? Let's have a little JD honey. Just a little JD, right? Just a little JD. What's the worst that could happen, right? Yes, sir. Whiskey. All right. That's out of the way. J Thick, tremendous. Fed raises base point 75 BPS. Already knew it was coming, so we already knew that. No big deal. I try not to ever worry about the news. This happens constantly, every single time people see the news. People try to panic and think, oh God, what's going to happen? Just relax. We already see USDC kind of rolling over and playing dead here. Architecture says 20 hours is 8 p.m. Thank you. I'm an idiot. I'm in Belgium, but yeah, you tried. Nice. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Water is good, but cool. All right. Fine. I'll have a white Kyle Monster. How about that? Oh, wait. We got water too. because that makes the hockey gear salesman happy. I'm with it. All right, so let's talk about USDC a little bit here. What do we see? First off, the first thing that catches my eye when I see this chart isn't the indicators. Let's take the indicators off for a moment here and just look at the candles themselves. The first thing that I see immediately when my eyes are drawn to is a triple top. What do I mean by a triple top? What is a triple top? What I mean is 3 consistent points of a top that seem to not break each other or stay flat along a line. It's not got to be perfect. But what I see right here, the first thing that catches my eye, 1, 2, 3. Typically when you see 3 tops, that's a bad formation, okay? Inversely, let's look at it this way. If you were to flip this over the other direction here, invert the chart, that looks like a triple bottom, no? You're going to hear that constantly. Ooh, here comes a triple bottom, and that's a quote-unquote bullish formation. That's exactly the opposite that you're seeing on USDC right here. In fact, what you're seeing is a triple top. Now, let's leave this inverted for a moment because this can help you understand what's happening on the chart in the wrong direction, okay? We look at this chart. What do we see? This looks like Bitcoin, doesn't it? It looks like Bitcoin, doesn't it? Let's do this. This chart looks like Bitcoin, and I want to show you this to get you to get your mind kind of focused on what's happening here. We'll do a double screen chart here. All right. We've got USDC inverted on the left, and over here we will do, take some of these indicators off. We don't need any right now. Let's do daily, and let's go find Bitcoin here. Look at this shit, right? So this is the exact same thing, isn't it, folks? Only kicker here is the chart on the right is Bitcoin regular. The chart on the left is USDC inverted. Let me put it back the correct way. See, now that I've flipped the chart, you can kind of look at it and go, oh shit, that's just Bitcoin upside down, isn't it? Well, that's pretty darn close, isn't it? So what you're seeing here is an influx and an outflow of money. Money coming from USDC into Bitcoin. Interesting, right? To look at this long enough, you start to see what I'm talking about. I'll flip this chart back around. Uninvert, right? So now it's back to the way it was. So now what you're seeing here is the correct chart on the left and the right. USDC is essentially losing support and falling under resistance, and now that resistance has become a barrier of progress. If you draw a quick little resistance line here, you don't have to be perfect with this, but something kind of like that, you kind of see that everything's bouncing around the same line and then falls under, tests the bottom, and fails. Inversely, let's do the same thing on Bitcoin here. Similarly, not perfect, but similarly, you have something happen with Bitcoin. It appears to not be as good and clean, just as clean as the other one on the left, but the idea is there. Now, you haven't broken out of this zone yet. In fact, it's kind of under on Bitcoin just a bit. It's kind of under support just a bit. We need to see it hold it here, okay? It depends on where you draw the line. You could try to be a little bit more perfect with the line and say that maybe that's it. That's a tough call, though. Either way, it's right on the edge, isn't it? You see the opposites of these charts, and you kind of get what I'm going at with this stream here. When the money comes out of stablecoins, it's got to go somewhere. There's only 2 places it can go. It's either going to go to USD, because, hey, everybody, USD is still the king, or it's going to go into some other crypto. What crypto? Well, we don't really know that, do we? But what we can do is kind of invert some charts around here and kind of put some stuff up and see what's breaking support and what isn't, what's failing and what isn't, right? This was just one example. Let's continue to chart USDC here a bit and see if we can find more to it. This was just to show you that, hey, things kind of look a certain type of way that immediately catches my eye. That's with no indicators, obviously, just some simple quick trend lines. Now, we did have a parabolic break down here. Okay, we had another run up here, and there could have possibly been a parabolic break. However, if you look at some of the indicators, we saw otherwise. All right. Let's do the RSI. We'll just kind of chart the RSI out a little bit here. We had massive overboughts in this area and this area. 2 times big overbought on USDC. What does that mean? That just means the chart went over, it overreached its bounds. And as it overreached its bounds, it had to pull back some. That's exactly what you see happening. On the left, the overreach was not as great as on the right. And the second overreach was after the first overreach and didn't go all the way oversold like the first one did. And here's what I mean by that. If you look here, you see that way back in the day, March 30th, this thing actually went heavy oversold. Okay, cool. Chart was way down. This time, it didn't do that, did it? This time, after it ran up and went overbought, it pulled back. But it didn't pull back as far. It only pulled back to around here. Then makes another hard run up, and becomes overbought the second time over after the first one, way higher. These are like little indicators that, hey, this thing isn't exactly doing what it did the first time. It overreached the first time. Now it's really overreaching the second time. Could it do it a third time or a fourth time? The precedent isn't there. All right. So what we're seeing is slow failure. On the RSI, everything's pointing down here. It's bounced off of the bottom of resistance. That's not great. It just retested it. This looks like it's going to go down more, doesn't it? Absolutely. Where to? Well, let's pull some fibs, see what we can find. I'll remove these vertical lines that I drew because I was just making those an example. We'll move those out of the way there. All right. Now, we had a bottom of a run down here somewhere. All right. Pull it up here. Looks like we went down here and slapped the 50 fib quite a few times, doesn't it? It looks like the fibs were very well respected around through here also. How do you know exactly where to pull the fibs from? Well, start on a higher time frame. Let's look at weekly. You had one little red candle right here on weekly, so let's actually pull it down to that little red candle right there. You also had this very, very big run down here. We can chart that one as well. We'll do that one next. Usually start on monthly and work your way down. Just wanted to give an example here. Just quick dabbling. Either way, same respected fibs here. Doesn't matter. It's still roughly the same. Right about there. All right. Same difference. You're bouncing around the 50. You're stuck in this range. What range am I speaking of? I'm speaking of this range right here between 382 and 50. You're stuck here. Stuck in this range, and until it gets out of the mud, it's going to continue to go down or sideways. We have an overall trend line that it hasn't broken yet. That trend line very well may hold. All the indicators are pointing down. The MACD has slipped into more bearish than bullish and has still got to cross down. Not great. Pivot points. Okay, you're under the pivot, bounce directly off the bottom of it. If this can't get over that pivot, and the pivots will shift in a couple days here, if it can't get over the pivot and stay over the pivot, well, the next point is way down here, around 4%. That would mean money came out of USDC and either went into cash or another crypto. That's good for the market. Does that mean that we're hella bullish? No. It means that there's a short-term relief, and we may end up closing some of them CME gaps that we see on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, those gaps do need to close eventually. We want to see all the gaps close eventually. Now, taking a step back for a second and look at the big time frame. Let's remove this box or move these fibs. I want to step back and look at the monthly for a moment here. Now, as you see, huge trend line here. This yellow trend line, still trucking right along. You're not in a bull market until that trend line fails. Once this trend line fails, then we can talk, okay? Till then, USDC just continues to truck right along and make more and more and more and more highs. Higher lows and higher highs. What I mean by that is there's a higher high and a higher low and a higher high and a higher low. It's higher than the last one. And the high is higher than the last one. And here we are again, higher high and likely a higher low. Okay, there may be some short-term relief in there at some point, but this money's got to go somewhere. People are going to sit in stable coins until the bull market comes back, and we don't have a bull market yet. All right, Scott Hoyman, what's up, brother? Good to see you. High quality H2O, Rug says. A9, we're mooning. Ha, we're not mooning, bro. Sorry. What up, Shep Stacks? Good to see you. Better late than never. What's up, my friend? Hey, what's up, Miss Beverly? One of the original queens, everybody. Koi Con Lao. That is Miss Beverly. Good to see you, Miss Beverly. As you know, she was the one on the video in Laos who was our liaison that helped us get the donations out. We're already talking about doing more stuff. Everybody keep your eye out. Miss Bev is a real one. Thank you again, Miss Beverly. Good to see you. By the way, we're mooning. Let's check the charts, all right? First, let's go to USDT and have a look at USDT because we talked about USDC, right? Similar situation here. Higher highs and higher lows across the board in this very, very large channel. Still running about, as they say, across the pond. Weekly, still stuck under this short-term trend line. That's good. That means we'll have continued relief. That's good. And on the daily, similar situation as USDC. You have a downward channel that it's kind of riding right here. You can put another trend line in here. You'll kind of see what I mean. Perhaps a falling wedge. If that's a falling wedge, it's more bullish than bearish, honestly. Either way, it's kind of stuck in this, riding it and riding it. Well, this means that it comes down to about this midline and then bounces. Well, it's already kind of got to a support level right here. And since it's gotten to a support level, it kind of bounced back up. And now you're seeing a little bit more pullback. Let's see if it can push through this resistance or support. I'm sorry. Let's see if it can push this support and fail more. Okay. We want to see the money come out of stable coins and go back into cryptos. Why? Because that means gains for everyone. That's why. It's not rocket math. Let's go to some of our bigger charts here. All right, cool. You see everything kind of rebounded a little bit. Now you can say that's based on all the news of the Fed hike. We already kind of said that things are going to be being in relief for weeks now. I said they'll be sideways as well. So what you're having is a couple green days and a couple red days and a couple green days. This volatility is good, but it isn't enough to get us into a bull market. What I mean by that? Well, let's have a look at some of the charts real quick, shall we? XLM. XLM shows you that if you look all the way back here, you're under a massive trend line. I'll move these fibs out of the way so you can see a bit better here. You're under this massive trend line. Until this trend line breaks, I'm sorry, but there's nothing super bullish about anything here. There just isn't. I can't look at this and go, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. Bull market time. No. You did break a short-term trend line, but that's it so far. Okay. We need to do a little bit more. Similar situation for ADA. Big yellow trend line right here I've made an arrow out of it, right? Till that breaks, no more bull market. Everything's been getting hammered, as you see. AVAX, similar situation. This one's got a really long way to go, okay? Look how far out this trend line is, depending on how we draw it. If we put it here, long way out. If we put it here, do another one, super long way out. Well, that might take forever to get back around. I don't want to see that happen. That's going to take a minute, isn't it? It's not going to be a quick move. And because of that, just pump the brakes, relax a little bit, see the charts for what they are. 2 a.m. What's up, Bernard Ovastarly? Maybe I got that right. Maybe I didn't. That's a lie. I still moon people. You're stupid, dude. Learning all new videos. What's up, Nicholas? Good to see you, brother. XLM, the people's own ramp. Yeah, I'll use XLM a lot of times to move money around from exchange to exchange. Why? Well, XLM is fairly cheap and fairly quick. I'm not going to use XRP. Why? Because that shit's locked up on a bunch of exchanges and you can't even get it off anyway. So you got to use something else, and XLM is the cheapest and the easiest of the bunch. How do you find USDT plus USDC together? There's probably a ticker for that. I don't have that one. There's also DAI. You could throw the DAI in there and then kind of divide it by market cap or whatever. I don't know the formulas for that. I'm not a full-on genius. But we can ask some of the admins, see if they can figure it out. So let's move along here. Everyone always asks about Solana. Similar situation on Solana. It bounced off two different trend lines. Now, we did talk about this trend line down here last night. Okay. How it's kind of hit that trend line and see if it can bounce off and respond back to it. That's why I gave, when I bought, more room on my stop losses, because I thought this might happen. Stuff's going to get very volatile at the bottom, kind of bounce around and jib jab back and forth, and not really give us exactly what we want to see, which is some clear-cut moves. However, short-term relief, still trying, but it's pretty Paul Wall, pretty sideways, okay? don't get fooled by a little bit of move up. Okay. Don't let that startle you. Remember, we're down 11% or some shit the last 2 days, and now we're back up 4 or 5%. You haven't even made up your losses yet. Okay. One step at a time. This is a slow, gradual climb back. Nothing will be fast. Long way down, everyone. And that long way down takes twice as long to recover back up. Just the way it is. Okay. Bears still around. You damn right they are. Gala, he says. Oh, sure. Let's look at Gala. It's been super depressing for me with Gala node. I have my Gala node still running. Okay. They cut rewards in half. So I expected a supply and demand move to increase the price here a bit, and it hasn't happened yet. Essentially, they don't sell any new nodes because they didn't reduce the price of the nodes. Nodes are still the same, like $90-something thousand. But they reduced the rewards. So in the long run, you would think that supply being less out there would help the demand and increase the price. We shall wait and see what happens. One good news is it did break the short-term trend line and retested it. So a run toward this red trend line would be in order, but who knows how long that's going to take. According to the indicators, everything is down or sideways. See that MACD? Barely hanging on. RSI, similar situation, slowly trending up, nothing in a hurry, which is actually okay if it kind of grinds its way out here. No big deal. But remember, this could take a while. Pivots, still under the pivot, still not even fully bullish here. It's more bearish than bullish. Pivots are about to shift in a couple of days, so everyone keep your mind right about that. We'll talk about that some more tomorrow night. Wish there was more to report here, but there's not. 821 EMA is still a no-go. Still a no-go. You're under every moving average here. Need to see some improvement there before I can say yes. Now, I was hoping this thing would turn the corner here based on supply and demand. Hasn't happened yet. Can't control that. I don't control it. Flux, in case anybody's still going. Man, I've debated cutting my Flux nodes off for several weeks now. If this thing can recover, I may do it. I may just cut it, and I may use it to pay myself a salary. I've just not been very happy with Flux node as far as rewards. Operation-wise, I got to pay another year for all the servers that I have, and I'm sitting there thinking, do I really need this for the small amount of money it makes, like 13 cents a day or something that it makes? Is it worth it? And it's kind of not worth it to run the server anymore. So probably going to do away with this. And then we'll wait till we have some sort of bull market to go back in and figure out whether we want to start our Flux nodes back up or not. Still have everything running right now, but I'm debating on just getting rid of these. Not bad. I made good money on them, but not as much as I would like. Could I take a look at OP, please? OP? Do you mean the crypto or the stock? I'm assuming you mean crypto. Yeah, all right. So this one's probably got a little bit of legs left, but the pivot's sitting right here at $1.04. It's a little late on entry. Yeah, absolutely. You should have got an entry any one of these last few days back to the 20th. Indicators still have good room to move up though, so it's a little hot at the moment. Be careful, it may get stuck at $1.04. Make sure you mind your P's and Q's as far as that goes. Keep a tight stop loss. If you see something change, be ready to pull the plug rapidly. I don't want anybody to get stuck in anything. By the chart, it is technically a buy signal or a long signal, just based on what we have here. The fibs, it's right up against that 50 fib. I really need to see it get a little higher than this because that is the dead on accurate 50 fib, which means it still could bounce down here. Even though you have an 821 cross, it's sitting right there at the red line. So be careful. This thing could come back to bite you. If you're going to buy it, buy a small amount, not some big massive amount. Be very careful. Pre-search. Yes, ma'am, Miss Beverly, I got you. Similar situation on pre-search, under almost every single moving average. Stuck in the mud. Needs to get out of the mud. I'm not going to cut the pre-search nodes off. They've upped the staking amount significantly since I made mine. I made all the nodes at 1,000. Well, now the staking rewards, staking requirements, I think are 4,000. If I'm not mistaken, 4,000 per node. Maybe higher now. Either way, I'm not going to unstake them because I can't get as many as I have if I did it. So I'm going to leave them be. I'm going to acquire pre-search tokens. As I acquire them, I will withdraw them and then I withdraw them and sell them off to pay myself a salary. That's the whole purpose and the reason I made these nodes. That's the reason I made all the nodes. Gala node, Flux node, pre-search nodes, strong nodes, everything. I made them things to pay me a salary, to pay myself some passive income. If you're not taking an income, you're not making any money. All those gains are unrealized, and unrealized gains are worth nothing. They're just money on paper. All right. And we need money in our hand in order to buy stuff. Simple as that. Sand, please, brother. You're welcome, Architecture. It's really close, but I apply a lot of stress on saying whoa when certain charts look the way they do, rather than, hey, let's jump in and buy these. Not in a bear market like this. We must be more careful. We must be patient, take our time, and not try to throw money at every single little move we see. That's the wrong play. Still could get another capitulation here, and I don't want to see anyone get burned because it can happen. All right, so for sand here, it bounced off the 50-day moving average. By the way, this is my rattiest shirt that I've got. It's one of my favorite shirts. I've had this shirt for probably like 12 years. It's still going, dude. It went with me through some tough times. So I haven't let go of my Tar Heel shirt here. It's got holes in it. Shit, I don't even care. It's my favorite shirt. Still sitting over the 50-day moving average, under the 8 and the 21, getting pressed down by the 100. This thing did a really nice move, and now it seems to be making lower highs and lower lows. We need to see it break back over the 821 and crack this 100-day moving average right here. Until it cracks that 100-day moving average, it is not going to test this 200. Once it gets over that 100, you should get an entry. You should get an entry opportunity, because typically whenever things cross the moving averages, they slow down and they shuffle around a bit. As you see right here, bouncing around the 50, it shuffled around a bit, then moved up some. I expect similar moves with the 100. Does that mean that definitely will happen? No. It very well could just blow right through it. However, that's pretty rare. It doesn't happen to a lot of charts. And when it does happen, everyone sees it and they go, oh man, you already missed it. Don't jump on a moving train. That's a dangerous proposition. All right. 39 people on, 31 likes. One more minute to go. That's it for 30 minutes. Interesting charts that I see here. SHIB is up 3%, testing the 8 EMA, but still bouncing around in no man's land. Almost hit my stop loss, but didn't. Like I told you, I gave it a little bit more slack on my stop losses, knowing this may happen. Algorand. Almost hit my stop loss also. Didn't hit it. Sitting on this trend line. I'm going to leave it be till it breaks the trend. XLM. Same situation. Nowhere fast. XRP. Same situation. Stuck in the mud. AVAX. Similar to sand. Needs to get up off that 50-day moving average and back through the 821 so we can test the 100-day moving average, which is all the way up around $30. That'd be a solid 20%, 30% run there, one step at a time. Atom, still plugging away. However, it did come down, do a big solid daily retrace. Let's look and see what that retrace was right here on Atom, because we can see this as an early one. It could be a good indicator. I think my kid just pulled up, so good timing. Last one right here. Yep, right off the 50 and golden pocket. Cool. I'm going to look for this retracement more. But listen, that's 30 minutes. Thank you all for coming for Crypto Before Dark. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 p.m. on Thursday. Ready to rock again for Crypto After Dark. Tomorrow's stream will be the last one for a whole solid week. All right, why? Because I'm going on family vacation with the whole crew here. So we'll be gone an entire week from the end of July till August 5th or 6th. Then we'll be back. Either way, I'll be back for that next week. After that, we'll have our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday streams like normal. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate every single person who comes on here. That'll mean the world to me. Thank you, Miss Beverly. We'll see you then. I'll catch you all on the next stream. In the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. Means the world to me, y'all. Thank you. See y'all later. Peace.